On tonight's episode of the 305 Gridiron, we are having our fourth mock draft of the year. And surprise, we're having our fifth mock draft as well. This one's going to have trades, though. So we're going to do our first mock draft of the year post the Jaylen Waddle trade. We're not going to do any trading in that mock. And then we're going to do another one where we explore what the trade situations look like. And then we're just going to do a first round one where we try to trade up and see who can we get. Maybe Sonny Styles. I don't know. We'll see. Hey everyone, Anthony here. When I was editing the video, I realized that I said that there's going to be multiple mock drafts in this episode, and we did record multiple mock drafts in one episode, but then we realized it would actually make way more sense for it to be two. So this video, while I say is going to be two mock drafts, is actually only going to be one. Enjoy the show. Let us know what you think about this first post Jaylen Waddle mock draft, and then enjoy a bonus episode this week where we do a mock draft with trades. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 305 Gridiron. I'm Anthony Pinzone, joined by my boy Josh, aka Aqua Ace, over here to my left. And tonight we're doing another mock draft. We're actually doing multiple mock drafts because it's draft season, and we are well within the thick of our draft preview series. Episode 1 went out just this past Tuesday, where we talked about the top 10 options that should be available at pick 11 and at pick 30. And now we are going to do a mock draft to see how that comes true and how we would handle that situation. This is also the first mock draft we're doing since the Jaylen Waddle trade. So this is the first time we're doing a mock where we have 2 first-round picks. How will that change how we handle the mock draft? Personally, Josh, I think that will change things a lot, because back in our previous mocks, we've talked largely about, like, man, we really need to address tons of areas, and we only have, these 2 picks in the first and second round to really try to get all stars, and then a bunch of third round picks to try to fill gaps. Now we have 3 picks, I would say, where we could potentially land some all stars.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think honestly, with where the strength of this draft is very similar to last year, it's the kind of late round 2 all the way through round 3, early round 4, right? So after like the initial wave of top end talent, it's a lot of second and third rounders that are available. And so the fact that we have, 7 picks in the top 100 or something stupid like that, like, all right, we're gonna be great.
Yeah, we have 3 picks in the top 43 now too, which is nice. So I know that you have the mock draft simulator open from PFF.
Yes,
I was going to say their full name, but I forgot it.
Pro Football Focus.
So what do you say we dive right in, get down to pick 11, see who's available to us, and then we can kind of chat about it.
Let's go. So just
last time we did a draft, by the way, Carnell Tate fell to us.
Yeah, and we did we take him or did we not take him? I can't remember.
We took him. Yeah,
we took him.
And you can see that mock draft on the 305gridiron.com, by the way.
Nice plug. Just for checks and balances, for those of you that are watching, we are doing the 7th round mock. We are selecting our beloved Miami Dolphins, and we kind of skewed these to be a little bit more realistic. So care for positional value is slightly below 40%. Give it draft for needs is right at about 50, and randomness we kept a little bit just to keep it interesting, because you do get random stuff like Jets taking Jeremiah Love, for example. Doesn't make any sense, but they'll probably do it. Let's enter the draft. This is on turbo, so it's really just going to skip all the way down to our team, and we are not doing
trades. Back up to see who kind of got taken here. So Caleb Downs falls to us at 11, which is huge. We'll still have a discussion, but I don't know how long it will be. So this is a pretty realistic start here.
It is. Yeah.
Mendoza, Styles, Reese, Bain, Bailey, edge rusher just coming off the board.
Yep.
Rapidly. Then Jeremiah Love goes to the Browns, poor guy. Mansour Delaney ends up with Washington. Carnell Tate in New Orleans. Francis Mayuga, Chachuga with the Chiefs, and then Spencer Fano with the
Ridiculous.
Bengals. So that leaves, shut up. That leaves Monroe Freeling at tackle. We have the top 2 safeties on the board, and Caleb Downs and Dylan Thieneman. Who else? Kenyon Sadiq there at tight end, Makai Lemon at wide receiver, and Vega Ione at guard. This is a ton of great options for us here at 11.
I mean, honestly, this is a prime. We're not doing trades in this one, but this would be I'm picking up the phone and seeing who wants to trade up.
If this were the trade one for sure, yeah.
Yeah,
you know the Cowboys want one of these safeties.
Yeah, and you call this, you call LA, you call Baltimore, you even call the Jets. I mean, ideally, you don't want them to come up and get Caleb Downs, for example. But I mean, there are 5 or 6 players here that I'd be happy with, with our first pick. And if we can get something in return, whether it's a pick this year or a higher pick next year, I think you got to at least think about it. But in this scenario, we are not trading. So who are you leaning towards? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. It's down to maybe 2 players, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man, I think this is amazing, and I feel really good about the 11th pick just looking at the options here, because Monroe Freeling has been skyrocketing up draft boards, right? It put some people's number 1 tackle on the board, and some people say the only true tackle on the board. I don't even know, where's the height and weight on this thing? Stands at 6'7", 315. I truly believe he's not even 22 years old yet. I truly believe we still need a tackle. I am not on board with just relying on Austin Jackson there on the right side. And this is a plug-and-play tackle. Look at that. 881 snaps, 422, and then looks like last year he may have been I had the years wrong. Last year he played 881 snaps at left tackle.
Yeah.
Which is just incredible. So the shift to the right side, there's something to be said for that. Maybe you don't want to do that, but I do think that's an
honestly,
incredible option to have.
For as talented as he is, and he is certainly talented, and he's going to be a hell of a left tackle, I'm not blowing the 11th pick on, and this is what we talked about last show, on having to move somebody to the other side, and that's just not, to me, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Previous show, we also talked about Kenyon Sadiq. Actually, the previous 2 shows, we talked about Kenyon Sadiq. I'm not on board with taking him at 11. Last year, I would have loved to take Tyler Warren, but we were in a completely different position last year than we are this year. I don't think we have the luxury of taking a tight end up there. So which leaves Vega, a wide receiver, and Makai Lemon, who is very good, and then the top 2 safeties on the board. What are your thoughts?
This is narrowed down to the safety position. And Downs or Thieneman, because early on Downs was my safety 1, my most recent top 150, which you can again find on our website. I have Thieneman as my number 1 safety, but it's by a super close margin. And then
size too, by the way.
Yep, and then Vega I think is the best pure offensive lineman. I mean, he's a guard, but I think he's the best, talent at across the offensive line at all positions. Collectively, I think he's the best in the draft. So you can't really go wrong. I think from an ADP, we have to go Downs here because again, it's not a bad choice. I'm not like twisting our arms to, square peg round holing this, but because Caleb Downs is going to be a hell of a player.
I am leaning Downs here. I wonder if the Dolphins would actually do it though. I could see them saying, "Give me Vega." Right?
Yeah. Yep. Well, given the fact that in this scenario, we are the collective, you are the G, I am the M. If we want to go Downs, we'll fucking go Downs and deal with it.
Yeah, let's add a safety. We got rid of Javon Holland, never really replaced him, although the people we did replace him with were awful. Minka came in and then got traded away immediately. So let's add a safety to the backfield.
The Miami Dolphins take Caleb Downs. And there we go. Well, that was a steal at 11. I mean, genuinely a steal at 11.
Yeah. All right, so Downs at 11, and here we are at pick 30.
Yeah, so let's see how this went. So Monroe Freeling went after us. Makes total sense. Thieneman makes total sense. John McCoy, CJ Allen. Oh, God.
Sadiq to the Jets. Wow.
Ugh, yuck.
Jordan Tyson goes to the Lions. That's pretty interesting.
What a steal.
Yeah, Vega lands with the Vikings. What a good pick.
Yeah. Oh, this is a stellar pick. This is what we were talking about last show.
Yeah.
Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
20.
Yeah.
Wow.
Emmanuel McNeil Warren early on in the draft cycle was 3rd round pick, 2nd round pick. Now he's top 20.
Yeah, that's crazy. So then Makai Lemon gets sniped there by the Cowboys.
So they trade up. They trade with Green Bay.
Oh, wow.
Or
Okay.
no, or wait, no, they got that is their pick from, I think, the
Oh, the Micah trade.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Parsons. Jesus.
Keldrick Falk then goes to the Steelers. Omar Cooper
Wow, that's
Jr. to
high.
the
That's higher.
Chargers.
That's higher than I thought Cooper would go, but that's a really good pick for them because I'm a big fan of his.
Terrell to the Eagles. The Browns' second first-round pick goes Blake Miller, the tackle out of Clemson.
Good pick.
Cassius Howell goes right before us to the Bears. Caden McDonald to the Bills. Max goes to the 49ers. Akeem
Oh,
Messidor
these last
to
two. Damn it.
Houston. And then Kansas City trades back up into the first round just ahead of us to take Denzel Boston.
Boy, do I love the draft because I wanted one of those two people to follow us so badly. But
So, guys on the board here, we obviously took a safety, so we still have a lot of needs on the line, and there's a lot of linemen available just looking at the list right here. Caden Proctor, a tackle from Alabama.
mhm,
TJ Parker, edge rusher to Clemson, who we put on our top 10 favorites to land at number 30.
yep.
2 interior defensive linemen, which we're just going to skip right over.
Colt
We
Hood.
could continue to build up the defensive backs with Colton Hood falling to us, was also on our list.
I've seen
KC
a lot of KC Concepcion drafted or mocked to us at
Yeah.
third. Mhm.
Yeah, KC has been there a lot. Emmanuel Pregnon climbing boards a little bit. I know you're a big fan of his.
Mhm.
Guard at 30 is much easier
Yeah.
to swallow than guard at 11.
Well, if it's Vega, I'm telling you, man, that
Yeah.
he's a hell of a talent. But yeah, no.
I'm
I don't know.
coming to
Where are
grips
you
with it.
leaning? Like, where are you leaning here? Like, kind of where's your thought process? So we got the safety. Are you staying on defense, which needs a tremendous amount of help at everywhere, or are you switching to the other side and making life maybe a little easier for Malik Willis?
I need to build the trenches here, man. I can't. Yes, you take Caleb Downs at 11 because you can't pass on that pure talent there.
Mhm.
But now you have to build the trenches with your next 2 to 3 picks. And with TJ Parker on the board and Pregnon on the board, it's a really tough decision between the two of them.
Mhm.
I do think we've signed more edge rusher talent than we've signed offensive line talent, though. So I would actually go Pregnon here at 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not see that coming out of your mouth. That's incredible. So let's take a look at him, right? From a size stature standpoint, 6'5", 318.
Yeah.
Great size. Right?
And he's the left guard, so this allows us to move Jonah back to his natural position at right guard.
Yep.
He's played 800 plus snaps 2 years in a row, 3-year starter, 30 plus games. He checks all of my personal boxes as to what I look for
Look
a
at
guy
this.
transitioning from college to the NFL. Allowed
This
1 sack.
in 3 years.
He started, what is that, 42 games. Only allowed 1 sack.
Yep. And under 10 QB hits.
41
In
games,
3
sorry. Yeah,
in 3
that's
years.
nuts.
Yep.
His first 2 years, he allowed 13 hurries. That's a lot. But then look at last year. He improved tenfold, only allowed just 2. And
Yep.
look at the teams he's faced. Penn State's on there.
Oh,
Is that Indiana?
The champions? Look
The
at champion.
champions,
Yep.
right?
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
Washington's on there too.
Yep.
Didn't have a good game against Washington either.
USC, Washington, right?
USC, yeah.
Texas Tech, hell of a
Texas
play.
Tech.
They played
The
Indiana
champions
twice.
again?
Yeah.
Played Indiana twice. Wow.
Yeah, and then if you look at his comparables, his run blocking grade, 85.8, his pass blocking grade, 88.1, his zone grade, 93,
Jesus.
his true pass set, 85.
I mean, this guy's an incredible get at 30, and I understand that we need edge rushers. I mean, if you've watched this show even once before, you know that I am a huge proponent of taking an edge rusher. I absolutely believe we need one, but I don't think there's an edge rusher here at 30 that matches up to the talent of Pregnon.
Yeah,
And you can tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I think I think TJ Parker does match up. I mean, they're the same impact, just on the the opposite ends of or the
Sure.
opposite sides of the ball.
Another 3-year starter. Love that.
Yeah, I mean, 6 sacks in 23, 12 sacks in 24, 6 sacks in 25, shitload of over 20 hurries per year.
Yeah, 20 sacks. Wow.
Yeah, he's played over tackle, outside the tackle, in the B gap, off ball. His grades are different, but his talent or the teams that he faced, in the ACC are a little bit better. I mean, he played well against LSU. He played well against NC. He played well against, the Cardinals. So I'm going to default to you. I would really consider TJ Parker here, but Pregnon's a fucking great guard. So we're taking Pregnon. And with our first 2 picks, we added a really, really good guard. We added a phenomenal secondary safety and Caleb Downs, and we are now at pick 43. Do you want to see who went above us, or do you just want to dive into the talent?
I think we could dive in. It sucks to see Jacob Rodriguez go there at 41. And I think that's definitely somebody I would be willing to trade up for.
Got some good talent here.
I'm interested to see what you would have done in that second first round pick there, if you would have taken TJ or Pregnon, because I know you're a big fan of both of them.
Yeah. So here, here's what I'm looking at. Brandon Cisse, I think is how you pronounce his last name, from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Hell of a cornerback. Hell of a cornerback. If this is how the board falls, there's no way I'm taking a player here, because I am fielding phone calls out the wazoo to trade for Ty Simpson.
I'm considering taking Ty if
there's no
way.
Him. I'm control. I will not click draft.
I'm just saying.
No.
I just think they should, if he's there at 43, I think they should consider it.
I will say this, a player that a couple players that Chris Bell out of Louisville, pretty good wide receiver.
Our Mason Thomas is there.
Yeah, our Mason Thomas is there. AJ Halsey is there as a safety, but I know we drafted one, but do we double down and fix the safety? We have no safeties.
Not this early, but our boy Eli Stowers is there too.
And I will tell you this, Malachi Lawrence, the edge out of UCF, this rank of 54 and ADP of 54 does not do this player justice. This is I would not be surprised if he was a late first round type player. I'm not saying he should be, but I could see him getting drafted that early. That's how good he is. So the fact that he's still there at 43, maybe we take him. I believe I have not seen Dunker go off. Yeah, Jennings Dunker is the beautiful silver stallion that we love on the show. He's one of our man crushes. He's got a luscious locks of hair, and he is a phenomenal tackle, will be guard in the NFL. So we got some options. But where are you leaning? Realistically, because I don't think Ty Simpson is the realistic choice, but we are the G and we are the M. So if we want to take Ty Simpson,
we've had a conversation around it before, so I don't think we need to revisit it, but I'm just saying, don't be surprised. Like, if at 43 times since Ty Simpson's still there and the Dolphins take him, I wouldn't be surprised. You just can't. I like Malik. I want to see what Malik is, but he didn't sign that lucrative of a deal. And I think these guys love competition, and Quinn Ewers could be competition, but so could Ty Simpson.
Well, here's my rebuttal against Tyson. I think Ty Simpson is a very decent prospect, and I think he has a chance to be a very good quarterback in the NFL. My concern with taking a quarterback a la Ty Simpson at 43 is the minute that Malik Willis overthrows a wide receiver, our entire fan base is going to say, put Ty in. And it's going to be a distraction for a team that is rebuilding. And because we are investing such a high asset into a player like Ty Simpson this year, if we suck, which we probably are going to, and we have a high draft pick next year, now we have sunk cost because we're taking a quarterback in a better class. And now what happens to Ty Simpson? You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, it doesn't.
I'll be honest, I don't think there's such thing as a sunk cost at quarterback. I think that if you don't have a quarterback, you keep drafting quarterbacks, no matter what it is.
Well, I'm not saying don't draft a quarterback, because I don't think Malik Willis. I think there's an outside chance that he could.
Right, but like Ty's arguably right. There's arguments people are making out there, however ridiculous they are, that Simpson and Mendoza are closer than they appear.
That's delusion. That's just
probably
that's boring.
But you can't deny that Ty Simpson had one of the best collegiate seasons of all time at the first half of the season, and then fell apart for various reasons. But
I'm not investing a top player or a top pick in a player that's played. I'm not going to do math live on the show, but that's
and that's the downside, right?
I'm not going to do it.
that's the downside, and that's where I stand too. I like 3-year starters. I like lots. I like 30+ starts. So he falls there. I agree with you. I think we trade there, but we've talked enough about Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
Realistically, I'm looking at wide receiver and I'm looking at edge rusher right here because I've yet to take them.
Yeah. And so, okay. So because I'm also thinking cornerback, because the fact that Cisse, I'm going to call him Cisse. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I think that's
hopefully it's not Sissy for his sake.
He is a hell of a cornerback. 6 foot, 190, ideal height and length and size. Limited ball production, but they didn't really throw a lot his way because that's how good he was on the field. Honestly, and this is going to be a reach per the system, but I can tell you where I want to go, and that's Malachi Lawrence, the edge rusher out of UCF. Change my mind.
I don't think I can, man. I don't have a lot. My knowledge of these draft prospects doesn't go well beyond the first round, if I'm being honest. So, if you think that Lawrence is a worth it at 43, he's at a position of gigantic need, in my opinion. And I know we signed on, the 3 different edge rushers there, but so I want to see a dog at the edge.
Yeah. So look at his pass rush grade, almost 90. His true pass set grade is over 90. His pass
not a
rush
great run defender.
But he's not. He's not a run defender. He's not a run defender. I can tell you that. He is a 6'4", 250 guy with speed and speed to power transition, but he's not going to help you much in the run game.
So how does he compare to R. Mason Thomas? Because I know R. Mason Thomas is a guy that I've heard a lot of buzz around. So I'd be curious to see,
Yep. So less sacks over the 3 years. Call it the same. R. Mason Thomas is
slightly better run defender.
Oh, not more than slightly. Like a much better run defender. Just as good pass rush. Is a little bit shorter and a little bit lighter. But the age is not a concern, but it's something to factor in. He played all 4 years in college, I believe. I mean, he's a senior. So he's got the experience, but also has the age, right? So got to take that into account. Has less kind of production, if you will, from an edge rusher. Played a lot of outside the tackle, so he was a true edge rusher. Yeah. Had some really good games against some really good competitions. Had some mediocre games against really good competition.
I don't even recognize the logo for the one where he has a 97.4.
Yeah, it's like Kent State or something like that.
Yeah, well. The other two are good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, these are kind of interchangeable. Him and
apples to apples.
All
right, let's go with Malachi Lawrence then. Here we've now addressed the safety position, the edge rusher, and the offensive line as we move into the 3rd round, where I believe we have 4 picks now in the 3rd round, so we can really do some damage here.
Yes,
Keelan Rutledge goes right before us. By the way, I know we already took a safety guard. I mean,
but I would have taken another one though if he was there. I'm not even lying.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It does seem like we've got some wide receiver talent that fell to us and a tight end. Yes. We took Caleb Downs at safety, Emmanuel Pregnon at guard, and then Malachi Lawrence at edge rusher. That doesn't prevent us from taking more at those positions because they're all positions where we could use additional bodies. Kyle Lewis, the linebacker, is one of my favorite prospects in the class. He is definitely... As soon as I see him, he immediately rises. But Antonio Williams, man, he's a short guy. That's his only problem, but his production is there.
Yeah. I mean, he's got, really, he got better every year, right? That's what this overall grade tells us. Played in 10 games this year. It's not great. He had 4 touchdowns this year. Not great. But had 11 the year before. Really good.
Like failing to see his snaps or his yardage and stuff because it's so small. I see 72, 6, 11, and 4. So he had a down year last year, despite a better grade. Interesting.
Yeah. So, not somebody that I would consider, and this regime tends to not draft shorter wide receivers under 6'1".
What do you think of this Max Clare kid out of Ohio State?
Yeah, I'm gonna admittedly, I haven't done a ton of tape on him. I know he's a hell of a blocker. He's kind of a decent receiver. He's going to be kind of that all around, that kind of jack of all trades, master of none, if you will. Yeah. Right. Not somebody I would be overly jumpy to draft at 75. But if that's the pick, I understand it. Zachariah Branch out of Georgia is another short wide receiver, but a
5'10".
better talent in my opinion.
Romello Height gets a lot of chatter.
He does, yeah, and I mean he
wow, what a year last year! Holy cow!
I mean he's a hell of a player.
9 sacks.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 240. He's a senior. He's about to be 25, and that's the problem with Romello Height. Right.
So he'd be a first rounder if he wasn't 25.
Right, and the problem with, and I say the problem, air quotes, what you get with Romello is what you're going to get. He's not. I don't think he's going to improve. He's not going to regress. He is what he's coming out of college, and what you see on film in year 1 is what you'll see in year 5 is what you'll see in year 6. You know what I mean?
I mean, he progressed in college though.
Yeah, but I'm saying at a certain point, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he won't progress. I'm just saying usually players that come in at that age, you kind of get what you get.
Hey, you give me a 3rd round pick that's getting me 9 sacks a year, and I'll sign up for that shit right there.
Yeah, and I'm not arguing against it whatsoever because I'm a big fan of Romello Height. I mean, 9 sacks, 3 and 4. I think this year was a bit of an epiphany if you compare it to the other 3, but I don't slight players for that because I believe in player growth.
It does appear that it was against lesser talent. If you look to the right, 94. Like the first 3 games were all against subpar talent. Then he plays Kansas.
This is Kansas. This is Houston.
Houston
both have good teams. This is K-State, who always has a good team. He played really well against.
I would have liked to see a better grade against Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're nitpicking here.
We're nitpicking. Well, we're just trying to decide between players. And Kyle Lewis immediately goes top of mind for both of us. So I'm like trying to look at what are the other options.
Yeah.
Outside of Kyle.
And the reason for those of you that aren't familiar with Kyle Lewis that we like Kyle Lewis is because he's 22 years old. He's a redshirt junior, 6'1", 220. It's perfect measurables for kind of that linebacker. He's got decent pass rush grades. He's really good run defender, and he's a really good coverage linebacker. Mm-hmm. Again, what we are picking in the 3rd round. So you're not getting what do you mean he's really good? He's 70s. Well, it's round 3. I mean,
30 plus starts.
Yep. 30 plus starts, lots of tackles, lots of coverage snaps, lots of run defense snaps, which is what I look for, these 2 lines.
He reminds me a lot of Zach, if we're being honest,
Yeah.
And like Zach had kind of the same question marks coming out, but was much more productive, I imagine, at Texas Tech than Lewis was at Pitt. But again, this isn't a good program. So you kind of have to weigh that in too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly looking at this list and how it fell. I wouldn't be opposed to Romello Height or Kyle Lewis, honestly. So
that's where I'm leaning to. And we have another pick in 12 picks.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them is following 12 picks though.
No.
So do you want to double down on edge rusher? Or do you want to try to replace Dotson?
I'm trying to replace Dotson if it's me, personally.
All right. Let's go with Kyle.
Okay.
Next time we're going with Romello just to add some variety.
Yeah.
I was like, where did all the picks go? So we have it on our picks, so we don't see the
oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Kyle Lewis, then Antonio Willens went next. Where the fuck are we?
Oh.
Sorry. There we go.
Way down.
Oh, Jordan Farmer, he was a hell of a player too. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, Devon
Moore was another.
We liked too. Yeah.
Did we take a quarterback? Oh, fuck, we haven't taken a quarterback yet. So something we might want to consider taking a cornerback soon.
Potentially, I hear they're not that important.
The ones we have are great. So I mean, looking here, we Max Clare still available. So I mean, this is the range where if Claire's available, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I think I'm like I would have much rather had the Roush kid who went to freaking Carolina, which I didn't think he would go before Claire. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. I don't know that I want another blocking tight end.
That was close. Look how close Romello Height was.
Yeah, he almost.
I will say, if you're not familiar with the tall cornerback out of Florida, Devon Moore, go watch some. Not you, I know you are, Anthony, but those of you that are watching, hell of a player, Devon Moore.
So let's move a little quicker here. We know we need a corner. I don't know if you like any of these guys. I don't know them at this point. I think Kieran Crawford is another guy to look at. Drew Aller's here, but we could probably get him at 90, which is only 3 picks away.
Yeah.
So it might be worth taking Rivers or Everett here just to.
Yeah. So 6'1", 190 fits the mold. Played at a good college. Limited
production. Yeah.
production, right? But has a really good run. He's more of a. It looks like he's more
Why
of a
does he
run.
have so many receptions? Is he a converted wide receiver? Did he play both sides?
I have no idea. I'm
It's
going to be honest with
38
you.
catches for, or is that how many catches against him?
I think that's probably catches against him if I had to guess.
Okay.
I am not too familiar with.
People had a pretty good passer rating against him.
Yeah.
But it's the third round.
So Chandler Rivers, I actually really like.
Really
Again,
good 2024. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Coverage grade, gives you a little bit in the run defense, can man up, zone coverage. Problem
What's the
is
size
he's
on him?
6'5". He's 6'5".
Yeah,
No,
I
he's
don't know that I
5'10".
care here, man. I actually,
Yeah.
I mean, he's way more productive than Everett was.
Yeah, the only concern is that at Duke you're playing less talent.
True.
So, but I'm taking Rivers over Everett personally.
What other corners are here at the top here, or even safeties at that matter? Anybody?
Not particularly. Genesis Smith,
Yeah, Genesis.
but those are
We already
later.
took
I
a
know.
safety.
I know. Zeke Wheatley is available. Will be available.
Yeah. All right, let's go with. I mean, I hate to force the position, but nobody else is really popping out. I mean, Jake Slaughter maybe, but you know.
Ooh, Max Claire's still there. All right, so
was
pick
Slaughter.
90. So what have we done so far? We've got a perennial All-Pro safety. We have a starting guard in Pregnon. We have a starting edge in Lawrence. We have a starting linebacker, in my opinion, in Lewis. And we have a starting corner. I mean, look, we're saying starters because we don't have talent anymore.
Yeah, sure.
So we've added 2 to the secondary. We added 2 to the front 7, and we added a guard.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a depth range here. You know, we're hoping Lewis and Rivers work out to be starters, but we don't have a lot of talent. So I think, you know, we're largely looking at depth signings as we continue to move forward. Aller really stands out here. I would love to see if we can get him at 94.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm telling you, Ted Hurst is somebody I'm.
Let's take a look at Ted Hurst. Yeah, I don't think we've taken a receiver yet.
So, you know,
1,000-yard season pretty much last year
and the year before,
and the year before.
You know,
so only 2 years of production, but damn good production. It's at Georgia State, which is a bit of a problem.
And he's 6'3", 195.
Oh God, he's light as a feather. Put on some weight, son, which he will.
No, I think it's perfect, dude. Like he's nasty. He's really good. The problem is, in air quotes, small school, right?
Yeah.
Now
this is the perfect spot to take a small school stud, though.
Well, the question is, Malachi Fields is still there. So do you take?
I would double down.
I mean,
I would see if we can get them both here.
Yeah, I would say the only thing I would look at is if we take Malachi or Ted at 94, we look at Zeke or whatever quarterback's available, right? That would be the discussion we should have. So if we're taking one now with the assumption that maybe we take one at 94 in a couple picks, who would you rather make sure you don't lose? Because we have the bird in the bush, for lack of a better term. Would you rather have Ted Hurst from Georgia State? I think is a slightly more well-rounded wide receiver, but coming out of a smaller school, or take Malachi Fields, who blew up after the combine and at his pro day and had a hell of a Senior Bowl, right? And played at a bigger school and has the production, you know.
Yeah, I honestly think I am seriously considering double down on wide receiver in the third if I'm the Dolphins, because I think the third is such a sweet spot for wide receivers in the NFL. There's so many really good third-round picks. And
there's a lot of good late-round wide receivers, too. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, there is. I don't really overly love the other guy. Like, I don't think we need another safety after we get Downs. I know we do, but, like, I think we could manage, right? And I forget the other guy. The quarterback is a nice to have, but if you miss out, you grab a Taylor Green or something
like
later.
Michael Trigg, the tight end at Baylor, really good tight end, right? So if we wanted to hit the tight end position, we could.
I think to me, Fields, even in the Senior Bowl where he was obviously the best player there, he still felt a little one-trick pony to me. So I'd probably lean more Hurst.
Okay, Hurst it is. So Garrett Nussmeier still there. Jake Slaughter, who we've taken in previous mock drafts.
Yeah,
center.
I'd be interested to see if they would take a center here in the third. There's a lot of center talent in the third round.
There is, right? So Jake Slaughter gave up.
We've seen Connor Liu fall to the third round.
Yeah. So
Jake Slaughter
gave up 4 sacks in 3 years. Over 80 and everything. right? And he's 6'4", 303, right? So
Yeah.
hell of a player. What did he? So he's exclusively a center.
Yep.
Based
Which
on
I think I'm okay with.
yeah.
Sit behind Aaron Brewer. Learn from Aaron Brewer. There could be worse things, man. They got
Yeah,
Logan Jones there too. Like,
the only question would be, okay, do you take a player like Slaughter who is going to sit because we have a top 3 center currently on the roster, or do you take a swing at a quarterback, or do you take another swing at a wide receiver? That's really the question, right? Do you take a better in discussion a better player in Slaughter than Malachi Fields at wide receiver, but Slaughter is probably not going to play this year, where Malachi Fields could play, and who's another big body receiver, gives you other dimension? Or do you take Juraller and let him sit and see what he can give you? He's got a big arm,
I don't think there's any delusions that we're going to be good this year, so I don't really think it matters.
Right.
Like the Slaughter versus Fields argument, I don't think it matters that Fields is going to be able to play. Okay.
So who are you taking? It's your. I will leave this solely in your hands.
Aller's super tempting here. He's got the prototypical
it's who I would
size.
Consider. It's who I would consider.
Prototypical size, but just an annoyingly disappointing college career. That's the problem, right?
And he's coming off an injury.
He showed so much promise, and he just absolutely biffed it.
6'5", 235.
Statistically speaking, quarterbacks taken after the first round don't work out that well. So I don't know, is it worth grabbing that guy here? Even though I said I wanted to grab that.
I would push back on that statistic. I don't know where you got that from, but statistically, first round quarterback.
Name a handful of quarterbacks in the NFL starting.
I'd have to go do research, but I've heard Todd McShay, I've heard Kyle Krabs, I've heard so many people say first round quarterbacks tend to miss more than.
But that's because they're taken more.
I'm just saying, right?
Yeah, I think the stats would show that first round quarterbacks are
it's first round for a reason.
Yeah. So I like Aller here, and I like Slaughter here. I like all of them. But we're talking about two guys who aren't going to play. You're right. They're not contributing this. What we hope they're not contributing this year.
Yeah. Well, fair.
Who else is here? Let's just scroll a little bit. Jonah Coleman would be nice if we needed a running back, but we don't.
Mark Bell, decent option. Barham, I've seen actually drafted to us and at 75.
Michigan edge rushers, that's nice. Let's take Wheatley nice if we want to take another safety.
Oh, I love him. He's so good. Trig. So,
Yeah, I feel like I'm spending way too much time on this selection here. So let's go back. I'm going to look at another edge rusher. Show me the first edge rusher you find. I think it was Barham. Yeah, let's take a look at Barham. So 3-year starter. Sack production is non-existent pretty much. He's a run edge rusher. So he's
the polar opposite to Chop.
He's playing on the D line.
No, I mean, you look in college, first 2 years he was mostly off ball.
Why did he play off ball so much?
He's a linebacker. That was the
So he was an off ball linebacker for 2 years, and now
I think so. Well, I think it's because they ran a 4-3 or a 3-4.
If we didn't take Kyle Lewis, then but we have Jordan Brooks. So it's kind of just. What's the size on this guy? Is he too big to play linebacker? Is that the problem?
6'3",
that's
243. Yeah,
yep.
I mean he's a power. He's what you would want on the other side of Chop if you were, thinking about it. But don't forget, we took Malachi Lawrence too already. So I mean, I know Malachi is technically not a run defender, but
Michigan defenders, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love a Michigan defender. So let's go with him. We haven't taken him yet. We haven't taken this guy before. So I like to take guys we haven't taken yet. So let's take Barham here.
Dunzo. Oh, okay. Can I please make this pick?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm deciding between two players.
Jacoby Lane I like too.
I'm deciding between Justin Jolly, the tight end of North Carolina, and Beau Stevenson, the guard out of Iowa.
Iowa offensive lineman. It's like Michigan defensive lineman.
Yeah. Justin Jolly is a receiving tight end who is 6'3", 263. At not a great school.
That's good production right there for a tight end, man.
Yep. But 7 touchdowns last year. Yeah, I mean, a very good late round draft pick. Really good receiving grade. Not going to give you jack shit in the run blocking, right? Think.
That's what we signed that other cat for.
Yeah.
Not Dolchik, but the other guy we signed
Mhm.
for the blocking.
And then Beau Stevenson is a left guard, so you would get your dream at us replacing Savanaya. But look at his pass rate, his pass block.
That's
his
insane. Run, why is he still on the board?
And his zone block. I mean,
is this one of the 26-year-olds? No, we don't have an age.
Not a senior, but he's 6'5", 315. I love this guy.
Yeah, that's a nice pick right there.
Done.
Yeah.
Got another guard.
And even if he doesn't replace that, we need linemen, dude. The linemen go out so often.
Yeah, so who have we taken so far? So we've taken Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State. We've taken Pregnon, the guard out of Oregon. Malachi Lawrence, the edge rusher. Kyle Lewis, the linebacker out of Pitt at 75. Chandler Rivers, the cornerback from Duke at 87. Ted Hurst, the Georgia State wide receiver at 90. Jaishawn Barham, the edge rusher out of Michigan at 94. And we just finished drafting Beau Stevenson. Come on down, the guard out of Iowa at 130.
So what do we got? 3 picks left?
We have 3 picks left. Yes.
All right. So let's grab a corner.
Yeah, there's not much.
Let's see who's available, right? The best player available this late in the game.
Price stock's really good. If you want a corner, Devon or Devon Marshall is a tank at 5'11" at 200 pounds. And has a really good coverage grade, really good run defense, kind of gives you a little bit of everything. Amazing zone player. Not great in man.
3-year starter too.
Not good at man coverage whatsoever. And this is where it's a little hard to draft players because we don't know.
Yeah.
Are we going to be?
This dude allowed a 56 passer rating last year, 61 in his freshman year, 73 in sophomore. I mean, sign me up. It's a 5th round.
Done. Because I really love that pick too. Like I genuinely love that pick. This is where it's going to get quick and easy. I mean, TJ Guy, but we've taken.
You love TJ Guy. We took his counterpart. We took Barham.
Yeah, I love him, dude. I do. I'm a sucker. He's also like name of the year, right?
Yeah, TJ Guy. Hey, Guy.
Hey, Guy. 6. This is Noah Thomas is somebody. Again, we are late in the round, so the production's not going to be great.
Down here last year.
But 6'5" wide receiver, 205. I heard somewhere, and I'm going to butcher the paraphrasing of this, but you can't. Speed gets slow, but size doesn't get small, right? And that's something that I forgot. It was either Sully or Half said it in an interview.
This guy screams as a conman to me.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're in round 7, so if we can get it,
Who's at the top of this here?
Damani Jackson, cornerback out of Alabama, tight end Nowakowski out of Indiana. Not bad, not a bad choice.
Keep scrolling. Let's see. Let's doom scroll for a little bit. J. Michael Sturdivant. What a name! Holy cow! Is he a king or something?
6'2", 213, redshirt senior, not a good player. Wow.
No, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely nerd.
So here's where it could get interesting. We're not taking a third guard. I don't think that's a reality.
We could do it.
DJ Harvey.
3 defensive tackles last year.
Yeah, true. DJ Harvey is a hell of a player this late. So is Jalen Daniels, the cornerback out of Kansas, I believe. Cole Payton. Hold on. Where's the quarterback? Taylon Green is still there. I know you're a big fan of his.
We take him a lot. I'm not even a big fan of his. It's just the talent.
We take him a lot for a reason. Right?
Yeah, like the raw talent, the untapped potential.
Yeah,
like worth a 7th.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with him. I'm okay with just about anybody who has like. I would. This is where I would really be digging for 3-year starters, right? Like 3-year starters with even decent production. Yeah. So what happened his senior year or last year? I should say
he got injured. Played 8 games, only 141 defensive snaps, 93 of which were in coverage. He allowed 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
He started the year strong. Look at that. He must have tried to come back from that injury too soon.
I think he did. Right. But 5'10", 190. Man coverage is horrible. I mean, but again, it's a 7-round pick, right? I mean, you get what you pay for.
This is like the people I believe are deserving of shot takes are the 3-year starters who have at least shown they could have some production, and Harvey certainly showed that in 2024.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we take Harvey here, and then we circle back and see what quarterback's available?
Sure.
And, yeah. So take again 7th round picks. You kind of know what you get, right? It's not much. Who's available?
Want to trade with us? It's so funny. Yeah, and take Taylor. I really don't think Taylor's going to be there in the 7th. I think a team's going to get enamored and take him in the 5th or 6th round.
I've seen Taylor drafted to us in round 3.
Okay. I like this one a lot. I can't wait to get this on the website and write up the little blurbs because I think what my favorite thing to do with these, by the way, while we're talking about this, is to take different names. If you're like, oh, why would you take this guy at this pick? Because we don't truly know, man. Like, we're at pick 11. And like I want to try to mix this up. I want to try to take different names. It's the same positions, but like kind of mix it up a little bit because we don't know who these guys like, and we don't know who's going to be great. So I love that we got a good mix here. We haven't taken Pregnon before, Lawrence before, Chandler, Rivers, Ted Hurst, Barham, Beau Stevens. Like it's almost a full draft where we haven't taken any before, and we weren't really trying to do that.
This is how the board fell, right?
This is how it went. Caleb Downs at 11 would be it's not my favorite to take a safety at 11, but I can't help but hear how everybody talks about this player, and it's like that would be
Was phenomenal. This our highest graded in air quotes draft? Absolutely not. Do I think this is something that I could actually see transpiring? Like take a safety, take a guard, take a couple edges, take a linebacker.
It's positions, absolutely. Right? It's positions is the important thing.
And
I believe they would probably want us to take TJ Parker at 30, and I would be interested to see what the Dolphins actually do in that situation because then you could argue like, okay, there will be a guard at 43. So
and I will say this: I think my only suggestion to fans, and it's very hard as fans because again, the only thing we have is fandom, right? We're fanatics. Don't get attached to names; get attached to positions.
Yeah,
because for example. Vega. I am absurdly high on Vega, and so are a lot of people. If Vega's on the board and we pass him, inside I'm going to be destroyed because I think it was a mistake, depending on who's available. Obviously, assuming Caleb Downs isn't there or whatever the case is. But if we address the guard position at the end of the draft, I'll be fine. You know what I mean? So just don't get attached to names because that's when your guy isn't drafted at 11, so we fucked this whole draft up. It's god awful. Well, not necessarily. You know what I mean?
Make sure to check out the 305gridiron.com for this very mock. The first mock draft we did tonight will be up there shortly after this episode, or shortly before this episode actually goes live. This episode is airing on Thursday, so if you're watching on Thursday, thank you. Also, we're at 176 subscribers at the time of taping. Thank you so much. We're trying to get to 250 by August 11th. So if you know somebody who would enjoy the show, hey, let them know that we're here, or just hit the thumbs up button because that YouTube algorithm will tell other people to come and watch this. And that's super cool. All right. So for Josh, a.k.a. Aqua Ace, over here to my left, I'm Anthony Pinzone. This has been another episode of the 305 Gridiron. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, fins up, baby.